Washington State has just rolled out EV incentives that we should be following here in Australia. Instead, we're not. We're getting rid of EV incentives. So is Germany, so is Europe. Whereas the US is doing the opposite. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. And you know what? Who would have thought the US would be really setting the example here for Europe and China? They are. I mean, there's a lot of states in the US that are incentivizing EVs. Colorado, California, Washington State. Washington State now, you know what they're saying? EVs make sense. We need to incentivize them. We need to get people realizing this technology works. The more people that have an EV, the more people they're going to recommend an EV to. The Washington State Instant Rebate Program, instant rebate being the operative word here, applies on top of the $7,500 tax credits. If you qualify for the tax credit, you probably qualify for this EV incentive from Washington State as well, meaning you would be able to get as much as $16,500 off the price of an EV. Wowzers. This program is going to begin in August. The program is one of many tools that Washington State are using to advance Washington's clean energy future, according to Michael Fuse, Assistant Director and Energy Division Leader at the Washington Department of Commerce. He said, the goal of the state's EV efforts is to increase the number of people who own and enjoy an EV and to, remove pollution from the air, like what we're seeing in California, right? California, the pollution in the cities has gone down significantly since EV ownership has gone up at the same time. Washington's program prioritizes lower costing EV leases. So basically, it's for leasing and for purchasing. But if you lease, you get a bigger discount than if you purchase. Now, other states in the US offer tax rebates or on-the-hood incentives, but the Washington program focuses on the most vulnerable households. And this is why I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, if you're in this category, you don't have a whole lot of money to spend on a new car. That's why it makes sense, right? Under the incentive, Washington residents earning up to $45,000 for a single person or $94,000 for a family of four would be eligible to receive $9,000 discount on a new EV lease of 3 years or more, or up to $5,000 for a new EV purchase. So $5,000 on a new purchase. If you qualify, you're going to get $12,500 on a purchase and a pretty stunning $16,500 on a lease. Now, leases right now are so low. I mean, you can lease an EV, a Hyundai Kona, for example, for about $150 a month. That is unbelievable. I mean, you're going to be paying almost nothing for a lease. So you can also get a $5,000 credit if you only want to lease for 2 years. Now, the EV lease for 4 years, that's when you get the $9,000 credit. But even better than that, I think, used EVs get a $2,500 rebate. So there's a lot of used EVs right now in America, and they're priced really low. The prices of used EVs have come down over the last 6 months to the point where they're very, very affordable. So you're going to get the incentive from the government, right? You get a $4,000 incentive to buy an EV from the government to buy used EV. Plus, you can add the $2,500 used EV rebate, so you can get about $6,500 off the price of a used electric car. Plus, the depreciation has been huge over the last 6 months, meaning you could get an absolute bargain right now on a used electric car. Washington State is already a leader in EV adoption, but many more people interested in ditching the gas pump may think they can't afford to do it, said Governor Jay Inslee in a press release. With these new rebates, we're significantly lowering the entry point, opening the door to EVs for people with modest incomes, and as we continue paving the way to clean transportation for everyone. Now, the press release provides an estimate of an example lease based on advertised deals currently that are offered right now that include federal government and automaker incentives. Adding the Washington EV Instant Rebate has the potential to make lease payments on at least 4 different models less than $100 a month. So you're actually looking at only about $22 a week for the entire life of your lease. That is just, a car has never been this affordable as far as I know in the history of America. The release cites data from Experian comparing monthly payments of leased gasoline-powered cars, which average about $500 a month. So $90 or less than $90 a month versus $500 per month if you want the gas version. As you can see, EVs are much, much cheaper to own as well. That's, another benefit. You're not having to pay for gasoline. US EV inventories have been on the rise with incentives from automakers. Automakers discounted EVs nearly $6,000 on average in the first quarter of 2024 in America. So you're getting these big discounts, right? $6,000 on average are the discounts. Some are more than this. But let's say you get the average discount of $6,000. Let's say you then get a new EV. You get the $7,000, $500 tax credit, plus you get the $5,000, $12,500 plus the average discount of $6,000. That means you're looking at about a $19,000 average EV discount. My mind's just going, holy smokes, this makes EVs so much, really a legitimate option for everyone living in Washington. As of April the 1st, EVs were sitting on dealer lots for an average of 119 days. That has fallen from a peak of 169 days in mid-February. Overall, EV transaction prices are higher though than those for gasoline-powered vehicles, despite incentives and price cuts. Although the first quarter average transaction price for EVs fell by 9% from the same period 1 year earlier, it was still $55,000. That compares with an average transaction price of $47,735 for vehicles industry-wide. And it's probably to do with, sales of Rivian, R1T, R1S, sales of Lucid vehicles, sales of vehicles, for example, like the Cybertruck, the Model S and the Model X, and other vehicles such as Ford's F-150 Lightning. Now, apparently, Washington taxpayers are mostly in support of this. They say that they support the state's transformation to a clean energy economy by helping make EVs more affordable. Right now, we have $40 million to go out in the EV incentive. And we have an additional $80 million in an account that we hope to tap into in the near future. We're going to learn a lot about who takes advantage of this incentive. So I can imagine there being adjustments over the course of the next few years to make this work for people that live in overburdened communities, places where people can't afford a new car. Well, all of a sudden, they can in Washington state. They probably can in Denver. They've got massive EV incentives in Denver, and California has amazing EV incentives as well. You know what? This is a really good example for the rest of America. Hopefully, other states follow suit. What are your thoughts? Bye-bye.